Good morning, everybody. How are you today?
Fine.
Good. Well, I'll introduce myself again. My name is Josh. I'm a dietetic intern here, and today I'm excited to teach you about a nutrition lesson. The topic will be Eat Well, Spend Less, a guide to budget-friendly nutrition. And I might be asking you guys some questions along the way, so just keep your ears open. All right. So here are the learning outcomes we'll talk about. We'll understand why healthy eating is important. 2, we'll learn some key strategies to make nutritious meal while sticking to a budget. And 3rd, we'll walk away with some practical tips that you can apply in your lives. Now, I will start off with the questions. I wrote them down so I don't forget. Let me see. Tell me, what are some benefits to eating healthy, or why is it important? Why is it important for us to eat healthy?
For health.
For health? Yeah, good one. Anybody else?
Support all our organs, keep them functioning well.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, why is it important to eat healthy?
She said.
Oh, yes.
Oh, to support all the vital organs we have, like our heart and lungs and body and the skin and everything like that.
Right. Good.
It helps with your mind.
Yes. Makes us feel good, right? Perfect. And when you guys go out shopping or when you guys are planning out meals, how do you usually do that, or how do you decide what to buy at the store? Is there something that you look for? How do you usually decide that? Like when I go to the store, I usually get something because it's either on sale, it looks good, it's tasty.
There's a moment.
It looks sale and
Right.
good look.
Right? It looks tasty, right?
Tasty.
Good.
I try to make a list of what I'm going to want to eat in order
Perfect.
to promote good health for my body. Like,
Right.
make sure I get my proteins and my
Awesome.
vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Awesome.
A little bit of each.
All right, yeah,
Every
awesome.
day during the week.
So making a list, right? Do most of you guys make a grocery list when you guys go out and grocery shop? Awesome. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit, some of those things that we talked about. So let me go here. So the question is, why should we eat healthy? I list out some benefits, some of the things that you already touched upon, right? Boosts immunity, lowers your risk of chronic disease, helps maintain a healthy weight, helps the digestive system function. And I pulled out some of these stats from the CDC. And almost 75% of Americans are either overweight or obese, or 6 in 10 adults have 1 or more diet-related chronic diseases. Now, I was kind of looking at this, I was like, wow, this is a lot. Are you guys surprised by this? Do you guys think it should be higher, lower? What are your guys' thoughts? Right? Yeah, and this is why I'm so passionate about teaching nutrition, why it's important to eat healthy as well. And I'll go down to my next slide here. So I wanted to show you, like Josh, you showed me those stats. What does eating healthy look like? Now I'm going to show you my plate, which is kind of a nice little visual guide of what healthy eating, what well-balanced meals look like. So as you can see, it's kind of in half, fruits and vegetables on one side, and then our grains and proteins on the other side. And our 5 major groups are our fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. Okay? So let me tell you, with our fruits and vegetables, they're a great source of potassium, vitamin A, C, folate, and fiber. And when you try to think about getting those fruits and vegetables, trying to have a variety of fruits and vegetables, right? Especially with vegetables, try to get those dark, leafy green vegetables, more than those starchy vegetables like corn, potatoes. Try to get a nice little balance. Now, all these nutrients are great at reducing the risk of heart disease, so that's why you kind of want to throw these in as well. Okay. Now, your plate doesn't have to exactly look like this, right? I don't have a dinner plate and I have like fruits and vegetables on there. Just making sure that you're kind of incorporating with your meals and your snacks. Okay. On the other side, for our dairy, great source of vitamin D and calcium. And it's recommended to try those low-fat and non-fat milk and milk products like cheese, yogurt. And here at the food pantry, we offer that 1% milk. And sometimes when you go shopping and you're looking at other milks, sometimes the marketing, they show you whole vitamin D milk, thinking that the whole milk has more vitamin D than the other milk. But the only difference is the amount of fat. All the other nutrients are the same. Okay?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Calcium, if you don't do dairy, what can you do? What other things can you get calcium from?
Yes, that's a great question. I wish I had a handout because I used to have a calcium handout, other things, but like soy is another good option, certain vegetables. But let me get back to you on that and exactly.
Vegetables, I'm interested, not the soy.
Okay, let me get back to you on that one. But great question. For your grains, you want to at least make half of your grains whole grains. So examples are like oatmeal, whole wheat bread, buns, brown rice, soft corn, whole wheat tortillas, because that's a great amount of fiber, B vitamins, iron, and fiber is really great for the digestion. Okay. And as far as our protein are our building blocks, and we want to focus on those lean proteins or any plant-based proteins, right? Like chicken, turkey, seafood, or beans, peas, lentils, things like that. Okay. And then here's a whole breakdown of everything. And just keep in mind, right, we just want to get a variety of each food group. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Do we have a printout of that you have up there?
I can make you a printout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, here. How many of you guys heard this? Eating healthy is expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Organic may be expensive.
Right.
Well, eating anything is expensive.
Right. I was about to say I think I think everything is very expensive, but I think it doesn't have to be if we do a little bit of planning beforehand, because I think that's what's going to help us to at least reduce the costs, right, when we're trying to eat healthy.
Besides it,
Oh, go ahead.
when you make it yourself, much cheaper.
Right.
If you buying, it's much expensive.
Right. Like buying something already made compared to
Yes.
making everything yourself and making. Right. Yep. Exactly. Go
Well, I
ahead.
was finding out that it's expensive because if you eat like you used to eat and you get
Right.
overweight, but if you do portion size, you can divide, like
Right.
I eat twice as much, so that's 2 meals,
Right.
2 different days. Then you can cut down on the expenses, that's what I do.
So kind of like limiting portion size for
Make
eating
sure
what
I
you.
get all the other vegetables and stuff instead of all
Yeah.
the things I like to eat.
Right. Yeah. Good. Any other thoughts? Well, let me go over some key strategies that will kind of help make, eating healthy a little bit less expensive. We're going to talk a little bit about meal planning, smart shopping, and then some time savers in the kitchen as well. So first off, we have meal planning. Now, when I think about meal planning, I always think about those meal preppers, right, where people are just chopping everything for the whole week and they have all these Tupperwares, right? But it goes even back a little bit further than that, right? Seeing what you already have, going through your pantry, your fridge, because you don't want to buy things that you already have, right? Make a plan and a grocery list. So maybe you set some time one day and you want to think about what you want to eat for the rest of the week. What kind of dinners, lunch, snacks even. And then make a grocery list. Maybe want to try a different recipe, right? Having those ingredients down so you know what you can go ahead and buy, right? So that way, if I don't make a list and I go and shop, I'm kind of just grabbing a little bit more than what I need. Also another little tip, maybe visit the pantry first, right? If you have a grocery list, come to the pantry first and you can already knock out some items before you start even shopping. Okay. Do any of you guys do any of these things or I know we talked about a grocery list. Do you guys plan out your week or you guys wait the day of?
Just look,
Yeah.
if you don't have a list, you buy it all.
Buy more than what you need, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never could shop by a list.
Good. So here's some smart shopping. So when I talk about a little bit my plate, these are some of the things to keep in mind, right? Making sure we're having some sort of fruit, vegetable, grains, proteins, dairy if dairy works well with you. Buying things in bulk. In my family, we eat a lot of rice, so we buy rice in bulk. save money over time. For the fruits and vegetables, shopping in season, right? Usually fruits and vegetables in season typically are a little bit cheaper than out of season. Some things you can look at is frozen and canned goods. With fruits and vegetables, maybe if those fruits or vegetables you want to buy are out of season, canned can be a little bit cheaper. Just watch out for the sodium if you can, either no salt or low sodium versions. Okay. And for your proteins as well, if you buy any lean meats, buying the family pack and then freezing everything for later. That way you can save money that way. Some other good options are those canned beans, those protein, tuna, salmon, some of the foods that you kind of see in the food pantry out there as well. And look for deals, right? Some stores have weekly deals. Produce are on sale at different stores. So kind of look around, ask friends. I know when I talk to someone, it's like, oh, I went to Aldi or went to Walmart, went to whatever store. They might say, oh, they have a good deal on this. So kind of making sure we're talking with people, trying to look out for those deals. Okay. Any of these tips resonates with you? Any of the things that you do as well? Do you guys buy in bulk or look?
Buy in bulk.
Buy in bulk, yeah.
How do you know which produce is in season?
I believe it's on the USDA, which I probably should print out as well. There is a fruit and vegetable that goes every season for, spring, fall, winter, summer. Mm-hmm. All right, so some time savers. So once you're planning your meals or you're talking about cooking at home, chop extra. Because sometimes, you need half an onion, but chop the whole onion so you can save the rest of those produce and you can do it in a different meal or double the recipe, right? Make more than what you're gonna eat. That way you can save it for later, freeze it, and then that way it makes it easier down the road, right? You're not spending time doing the same recipe again. Have everything in place when you're cooking, just so, I'm not going to the cabinet, getting my seasonings, coming back out. Makes everything a little bit easier for you too. Maybe you can plan a leftover day. This is something my family didn't do, but we started doing a little bit more where we get any leftovers we had throughout the week. And sometimes we're a little bit creative. We can make some soups, mash it in together, make something creative. There's so many things outlined and good recipes that you can follow just to utilize everything that you have so you can stretch those food dollars. Any questions? All right, so that stuffed pepper that you were eating today, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me tell you some of the ingredients here. They use brown rice, so we got our whole grains there. We're using bell peppers, got our vegetables, onions, vegetables, our chickpeas, our garbanzo beans, a little bit of protein there. We used a little bit of reduced fat shredded cheese. And we got our dairy in there, more tomatoes, more vegetables, chopped green chilies, garlic clove, and then we have our seasonings of chili powder, cilantro, and salt, and black pepper.
What's the difference between brown rice and white rice?
Good question. So brown rice is a whole grain compared to rice, so it's not as processed. So brown rice tends to be a little bit more healthier, has a little bit more fiber, those B vitamins. Sometimes those rice is fortified with iron, so you don't have to worry about that, but usually has a little bit more of the fiber, B vitamins, iron.
Thank you.
And selenium. Selenium?
Selenium?
Selenium.
Selenium.
Brown rice.
Brown rice. I have to double check on that. I'm not too sure about the selenium, but
I think so.
Maybe, I don't know either.
I'm gonna do some research and I'll get back to you. So.
About.
I'll look it up.
Okay. Would be great.
And here I'm gonna show you guys a little video of how I made this stuffed pepper. Okay. Hey everyone, today we're going to make some delicious stuffed peppers. The list of ingredients are in the caption below. First, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Now, bring 2.5 cups of water to a boil and add your brown rice. Then, lower the heat and let it simmer for about 45 to 50 minutes.
Check and follow your cooking instructions for your brown rice. While that's cooking, start dicing your onions, tomatoes, and garlic so they're ready to go. Grab your bell peppers, cut off the tops and spoon out the seeds, and set those aside. Spray a skillet with non-stick cooking spray, then add your diced onions. If you don't have any cooking spray, you can substitute the vegetable oil instead. Saute the onions over medium heat until they're soft. This should take around 5 minutes. In a mixing bowl, combine your chickpeas, half of the cheese, tomatoes, cooked onions, green chilies, garlic, chili powder, cilantro, salt, and pepper. Once the brown rice is cooked, add 1 cup of rice to the mixing bowl. Stuff the bell peppers and bake for 40 minutes. After that, top with the remaining cheese and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. Here's the final product. Enjoy.
Boom. So with that recipe, right, I could probably have doubled it, or if I was chopping the onions, tomatoes, I probably could have prepared a little bit or chopped a little bit more so I can save those for a future recipe later to make a little bit easier on myself. Okay, because time, not all of us have, a lot of time to always make a meal every single day, right?
Another kind of bean.
Oh, absolutely. You could substitute the beans to maybe any other beans that you enjoy, or if you want, add in different protein option. If you want to use maybe some ground chicken, ground turkey, or your own vegetables, it's all what you like, right? So there's some variance in there.
It's delicious, thank you.
Yeah. Good question. So here I kind of broke down the cost for that recipe I did. And this is based on the cost of what I actually used, not what I bought. So when I bought the brown rice, it wasn't 35 cents. It's 35 cents for that half a cup that I used. Just to keep that in mind. So the total was $7.53. And now we can still use those onions, tomatoes, and still use them in other recipes, so that way we're not kind of losing out on that money, okay? And now I only shopped here at Walmart, but many of you guys probably shop at more than one store because there's different deals at different stores. But I say don't go more than, I would say 2 or 3, because at that point you're kind of losing the benefit, right, with the cost of driving to different places, time. So kind of keep it to 1, 2, maybe 3, right? Let's see here. And I have, question, yeah, go ahead.
With that recipe,
Yes.
how many of these did you make out of that recipe?
So 4 bell peppers, and so you can divide the portion size, and they cut them in half, so however. Yeah. Some bonus tips here. Drink water instead of sodas or high sugar drinks. Water less expensive, and water's just great. Save time, money, and calories by skipping the chips and cookie aisles. Those are my favorite aisles to shop at, so it takes some self-discipline for me to do that. Choose the checkout lane without any candy shelves, especially if you have kids around you, right? They're probably gonna reach in, grab something, put it in the cart without you looking, right? And as silly as this tip sounds, eat before you go shopping, because when you're hungry and you shop, everything looks delicious when you go there, right? So you might kind of put a little bit more things in your cart than what you wanted to do. Okay. Let me add this. So kind of let's recap. We kind of understood why healthy eating is important. We learned some key strategies to make nutritious meals while sticking to a budget. And we went over some practical tips that you can apply in your lives. And I kind of want to wrap it back around about the first couple questions I asked you. So tell me, why is healthy eating important, or why should we eat healthy? What did you guys learn? Tell me your thoughts.
I think if you eat healthy, your body weight now stays good.
Right, so like maintaining that body weight, good. Yeah. Anybody else?
You feel better.
Feel better, and I think that's really important, right? Sometimes when I eat healthier, right, I tend to just feel great. My mind is open. I'm just, I'm happy. I'm excited, right? And what are some key strategies that you guys learned that you guys will try doing next time, or some things that you've already done, or something I haven't talked about that you want to share with someone else here that may learn from you as well? Like, do you guys making that grocery list? Do you guys shop in season? Do you guys chop extras when you guys make food, or?
No, that's a good idea.
Good idea, yeah.
The whole mind frame about what the food is for, if it's for
Right.
nutrition and to sustain your body healthy,
Yeah.
you have to kind of change. Maybe you grow up, it's just celebration, you know, that
Right.
thing. You got to look at what it's really for. And that's
Right.
what changed my way of doing these things that you've mentioned.
Right.
Buying the appropriate foods, cooking them appropriately, and eating in the appropriate amount.
Right, yeah. And it's how I say it's all about balance, right? Not saying that you can't eat unhealthy, right? Because it's just having a balance of everything, right? When it comes to celebrations, birthday parties, right? I'm not saying don't reach for the cake, but maybe just have a small little portion, and then I'm gonna have a little bit of fruit and vegetables on the side, right? We're just not trying to tell people not to eat certain foods, just to have a well-balanced diet, okay? Any questions?
You know what my problem is? I
Yeah.
crave sweets.
Yes.
What do you do when you want sweets? I mean, you just gotta have that chocolate candy bar or that something.
Right.
That's my problem.
Yeah, and I feel, because to me, those are, I have like sour candy has been, and like honey buns, like I used to grow up with that, and I had that a lot in my house. And one thing my family just decided to do is like, we're just not gonna have it in the house, because if it's in the house, I'm gonna look in the cabinet, I'm gonna reach in and grab it, you know, and it's hard. But if you can reduce the amount, or just kind of keep it out of sight, out of mind, right? And it's easier said than done. But I think I've talked with clients and they said we just don't keep it in the house because
If you find a substitute that has the same taste, that's what I do. Because I like
Yeah.
salty, crunchy things and, you know, potato chips, stuff like that.
Right.
So I found out you took a little piece of cheese or like a salty cheese and, you know, a cracker, a nice cracker, not just a salty
Right.
cracker. You get that same crunch and that same salty, cheesy taste that you like in Cheetos.
Right.
But it's not the calories and the artificial feelings. And the candy stuff, I use raisins and sweet apples and stuff like with walnuts.
Oh, okay.
Kind of make my own little, kind of, whatever I'm craving. at the
Gotcha.
moment. And the chocolate, get the dark chocolate. I never liked dark chocolate before,
Yeah.
but now I do.
Now you do, okay.
And have a piece of that. Don't deny yourself, but just don't overdo it.
Yeah, and sometimes I tend to think, oh, maybe if I just have it and I I'll just eat one or two. No one, right? They have the thing with Oreos, right? No one just comes by and eat one Oreo. No one comes and just eats one chip.
No one does either. That's why I
Right.
just stay away from it.
All right. Any other questions you wanted to ask me? Hope you guys love the stuffed pepper. Thank you guys for sitting down and letting me talk to you guys. If you guys have any ideas for maybe another nutrition class, because we're probably going to have another dietetic intern, maybe something that you guys want to learn a little bit more, since I didn't get a chance to ask you guys what you wanted to learn. So maybe for the next class, give us some ideas that the next intern can think about. Okay. All right, thank you.